So today, what we are going to be treating today is a new strategy. And our new strategy, we call it the 1641. The 1641 strategy. I'm going to jot it down. So our new strategy, my pen doesn't want to write. The pen doesn't want to write. 1 minute. Yeah. So the new strategy is called 1641 strategy. Right. So the 1641 strategy, it is broken down into, so the breakdown of it is the 16-hour, the 4-hour, and then the 1 hour. Right. So 1641 just means that we will be using the 16-hour time frame. Right. We'll be using the 4-hour time frame. And then we'll be using the 1 hour time frame. So how would we use them? How it works. Okay. So we will be using the 16-hour to find the direction of the market, direction of the market. Okay, so 16-hour to find the direction of the market. And then we use the 4-hour for psychological levels. But in this case, these levels, we call them key levels. They're not quite psychological levels. They are more like key levels. So we call them key levels. Now, and then we use the 1 hour to enter trades. Enter trades. That is all. And then we'll be showing you where you would take your trade. So the taking of the trades would be on the key levels. So let's review it very quickly. The strategy is called the 1641. 1641 strategy, it means that we're going to be using 3 time frames. The 16-hour, the 4-hour, and then the 1 hour. Right? How it works. 16-hour, we use it to find the direction of the market, whether the market is going up or it is coming down. And then we will be using the 4-hour for what we call our key levels, right? And then we'll be using the 1 hour to enter trades. Simple. Okay. The next thing is, what are the tools? What tools do we need? Apart from the psychological levels and the rest, what additional tools do we need to do that? We need these indicators. So indicators, right? We need the TDI indicator, and then we need the wave cross indicator. I made a mistake. Indicator. So the wave trend cross, the wave trend cross. And then we need the moving averages. The moving averages that we need will be the 5 SMA. We need a 10 SMA, and then we'll need the 20 SMA. The 20 is not so important, but 20 SMA. Right. So I'm going to now go straight to the screen, to the blank chart, and then I would explain how everything would work, and then what we will be needing. Okay, fine. So from previous lectures, we started introducing these type of indicators, the TDI, the I would call it the moving averages, and then the other bits. So I'm going to just start this whole process again. Let me come off. Everything is off. As we did use AVAX on the lecture, we're going to be using AVAX here as well. So then it ties in perfectly to what we started on the course. So we're going to be using AVAX. Okay. So now we said we're going to use the 1641. So we are going to be in the 16-hour time frame. So we find ourselves in the 16-hour time frame. When you look at the 16-hour time frame very carefully, you can see that we just started going up and up, right? But we don't just seem to go up and up only. We go up, come down, go up, come down, go up, and then come down. Okay. If you look at it very carefully, you can see that this point is like a kind of support area where the price is, which is this very point. Where's this very point? It's like a support area, you can see it. This is the lowest point that we ever came recently. So all you'll be doing is to just mark those lowest points. You can also see that we came somewhere. We came, as we walked about, we came here, we stopped there, we came down, we came here, we stopped there, which means around this area, there's also another type of area there. So we pick a line, and then we try and find the best fit. Now, what we try to do is, because the line sometimes is not good enough to be able to accommodate all these areas, we use what we call a rectangle. So normally to find the rectangle, if you remember the basics and the basics, you can see that we can find the rectangle in one of these places. The rectangle is here. You go, you start, it becomes part of your menu. So we normally use a rectangle for the area. So what we do is, in the 16-hour, we are just trying to find the general direction of the market. The direction went from up, down, up, down, up, and it looks like it is about to come down again because we seem to have hit a major key level, and it is retracing because we started with a red candle. Now, so that is all you want to mark on the 16-hour. Now, when you go into the 4-hour, you can see the lines are still there. The lines that we just marked on the 16-hour is still there. But you can also see there are other areas in the 4-hour, which seems significant. All right, so what we are going to do now is, you realize that this line that we drew on the I'll call it, on the 16-hour, it's way far away when you come to the 4-hour. So generally you want it to be a bit closer to the support level, but you can decide to leave this here and then draw another line here. What we are going to do is, for the lines that we drew on the 16-hour, we are going to convert them into this rectangle. So you select the rectangle, and then we put the rectangle on it, right? We select the rectangle, and then we just put the rectangle on those lines, all right? So it guides us and tells us that we are in the 16-hour, all right? So like this, fine. After that, you can decide that you can delete this line if you choose to. You can also leave it there. We want to put another rectangle anywhere we find. So we'll clone the rectangle. So we just duplicate it by cloning it. We'll just clone the rectangle, clone, and then push it up. to this next one. And then where is that? The other line is at the top. We clone this other one. We take it up to the next one. Okay, so this rectangular shaped ones tells us that these are levels that we picked from the 16-hour when we went to look for the direction of the market. Now you can clearly also see that on the 4-hour, we have some kind of areas which seems to be sticking point, like this thing. If you are walking the line, we realize that this one came all the way, it went here, which is fine. It came all the way, stopped here. It went and it came and it stopped here, which means this area is also a sticking point. All you do is pick the rectangle. This one is the rectangular array, or whatever they call it. How do we call that one? We call it the horizontal array. The horizontal array. We just pick horizontal array. We put it here because the market came and it stopped here at the point. It also came. It looks like it's an area which seems to have some kind of traction, right? And then we can also see that here the market came and it respected. When it was going, it came and respected. So just put something there just to tell you that on the 4-hour, we have some levels, which is the key levels. That's all. So this is what you're going to be doing, right? When you go up here, it looks like there is another type of key level here. Just take your rectangular array and put it there. Simple, like that. So your chart will look as clean as this. Now, what would happen is you have to go into the 16-hour and then go and find this thing, how we call it, all the things you've done. So we go into the folders and then we pick them all up. So we just pick them all up like this. As the usual thing, and you create a folder. You call it the 1641, and then you are done. All right. So 1641, you are done. Now, what are the other things that we need? I said we will be needing the following indicators. So let me go back and refer to what we wrote that we're needing. The indicators we'll be needing. We'll be needing the following indicators. TDI, right? Moving averages, and then wave trend, okay? That is the ones we'll be needing. So TDI, moving averages, and then wave trend. If you go to the TDI video that we thought, you would see, and so I'm going to bring up the TDI, right? So we are back. This is TDI. I taught you how to bring TDI, but let me just possibly refresh your mind a tiny bit. So to find TDI, I said go to indicators, and then you want to type in TDI, and then you get a Traders Dynamic Index. Trader Dynamic Index, you get something like this when it comes. It's like gibberish like this at the bottom. And then you go into settings. When you go into settings, I want you to change the settings into the following. So the settings for that is, let's see here. Wait a minute, that's TDI. The settings into 5-12-1-6. So when you go into that settings, in the TDI, it should be 5-12-1-6, okay? 5-12-1-6. And then when you go into style, upper band should be off, lower band should be off, middle band, you leave it. Slow MA should be off. Fast MA, you leave it. Do you understand? And so it would look like just exactly the one I have at the top. So it's as simple as that. So that is how the TDI is going to look. So I'm going to just come off it, or let me just review it quickly. The input is 5-12-1-6. Style, upper band off, lower band off, leave middle band. Normally, you might find that it is a different color on the fast moving. So change the fast moving to green, something like this. And then normally you can go in and say save as default and then okay it. That's it. So it's the same thing I've created at the top here, but I'm just only showing you how it is created. So we've got the TDI. The other things that we need before we come to this, this one, let's go to the moving averages. The moving average, now sometimes the problem we have is if you have the basic trading view, which is not paid, they restrict you as to the number of indicators you can load, you see, and that is a major challenge. But we are trying as much as possible. So I'm telling my developer so we can create something that it will be all inclusive. So when you open that one indicator, you have everything. So when we are now going to what we call the moving averages. So for the moving averages, I told you that there are 3 moving averages that we'll be using. The first moving average will be the 5. The second one will be the 10. And then the third one will be the 20. Right. Now, the 5. The 5, you go straight to indicators and then you type in moving averages. So you get this moving average updated. Let it come up. When you click on it, it comes up and then you go edit it. When you go edit, go to input. You see, it tells you the length is 9, but you want the length to be what? 5, right? And then when you get the length to be 5, style. Style is, color is yellow. Thickness, there's the second thickness you select. That's the 5 moving average. And then you come off, right? You go back to indicators again. You want another moving average, which is going to be the 10 moving average. So we're only putting moving averages on it. Okay. So then when you select it, it will come in as this blue with this one. Go edit it. You want it to be, the length to be 10. Right? Now, style, you want it to be like maybe gray or off-whitish or something. Maybe let's say white. Thickness, the same. Okay. So you've got 2 of the moving averages now on the screen. You can work with this too if you don't have enough capacity to get more indicators. But having said that, there's a third indicator, and this third indicator, we call it the MA+. We found it last week. I think that's what we did. But I'm going to show you how you get the MA+. To get the MA+, you have to go to Google and then type in MA and then the symbol plus. And then this one, DMAN 103 indicator. MA plus DMAN 103 indicator. When you do that, it gives you the indicator here and it gives you this thing, this page. Right? It gives you this page. Right? So once it gives you this page, you scroll down the page. Sorry, what is this? You scroll down the page. As you scroll down, you see this blue thing. Normally, that blue thing will tell you that you should add to your indicator. It will tell you, say, add to indicators. When you go and you add it, then you come off Google straight. And then you can go into your indicators and then you start typing in MA and the symbol plus. And then you can see MA plus, DMAN 103. And then you select that one. When you select that one, this is the way it would normally look. But you want to edit it. Yes, so you go into edit and then take the plot off, take the second plot off. And then I think you would have to go into input and then it has to be SMA. And then the length, you change it to 20. Is that clear? The length is 20, resolution, everything. So MA length is 20, and then you okay it. Right. So now what this thing is telling you is that it has different colors. Let me explain what the MAs now means before we go on. So the MA, I'm going to turn them off one after the other, and then I'll switch them off, on one after the other. Okay. So now let me bring the price actions. So this is the price actions. We switch on MA5. MA5, it is a 5 moving average. Normally, we make it an exponential moving average if we can. Like if it is an EMA, you can make it, if it's an MA2, it's not a problem. You know what I mean? So you can come here and make it EMA. In the settings input, EMA. The same thing, it doesn't change much. So what it is that works closely with the price action. So you see them sitting in the price action very closely. What that is anytime the candlesticks or the price action moves away from that, they would have to come back and connect to that. You understand? So realize that this, for example, this candle, this red candle is way away from the 5. Literally speaking, although it is way away from the 5, we can assume that that candle is way here. So if you have a line, let's say this line, like for example, a psychological line, right? And you see the candle forming above the line, but you see the MA5 is below the line. You can safely assume that the MA5 is below because the candles would have to come to catch up with it. You understand? Like something like that here, right? If you have a line here or a line there, you can safely assume that this candle is way up here, or this candle is way up here. You see, so it's a matter of time they would have to find a way to catch up. But this way we're coming down, so we'll catch up somewhere there and then start going up. That is how the MA5 works. Okay. Now the MA10, I want to turn that on. The MA10 works with the MA5. What it is whenever the MA5 crosses the MA10, it means that if MA5 is crossed the MA10 going down, it means the markets, the price actions are going to go down. So you can start trading down. You understand? When MA5 crosses the market up, it crosses the MA10 up, means that we're going to go up. So you can start trading up confidently. You know what I mean? When it crosses it down, you can trade down. It crosses it up, you can go up confidently. You know what I mean? So now the MA, that's the MA plus, which is the MA20. The way that works is anytime the MA20 is green and it keeps on being green, it means that you can maintain the fact that we are in the upward direction. Anytime it is red, you can maintain the fact that we are in a downward direction. So it is a guide. It is the general guide. You see from here, it was green all through. So we maintain the fact that we are in an upward trend till it changes. You know what I mean? From here, it is red all through. So what you want to see is you want to see the MA5, MA10, either when the market is coming down, they are all below the MA plus. Do you understand? So that is how the three work together. That is it. Now, the third indicator that we can come to is this one. So let me turn off this thing and show you how we get this. This one, I think we had it before. We got it, but then we need to do it again. We actually did it on Saturday. So to get this indicator, the way you would do it is simple. You go into indicators, as we did it, and then normally you go and find it from the wave. We call it the wave trend cross. So wave trend cross, there's the lazy wave trend with crosses. That's a lazy bear one we want. So you pick that one, it comes in like this. It looks gibberish like this. Let me move it up. So I told you that when you go in there and you find it, let me move it up first. Move up. Move up. Yeah, when you go in there, this is how it looks, right? Because this is the way it looks, all you're going to do is you are going to go into the code, which is the brackets. Let me come off and show you again. You're going to go into the bracket here, which is the code here. Click on it. And then when you go there, I want you to do is go to the 3 dots here. You see the 3 dots here? click on it and you say make a script copy, right? When you get the script copy, put in there as WTC or WT dash your initials, and then you save it, right? I'm not going to save it because I've done one already. And then you save it. When you save it, come off this one and then close it completely. Just close this completely. Now you have to go back into indicators. Because you've saved it, it will be under my scripts. And then you go and get it. You know, I mean, I called it some other name previously, so it will come up. You see, when it comes up, sorry, I don't think there's the one. There's not the one. There's the WT cross. Yeah. So when it comes up, you go into settings, and then you have to go and do some settings for me. I told you to put the plot area. So this plot area will come off. The second one, you will change. It will be, I think it will be a line like this, but you change it and make it an area. The second one to be a line. You change it and make it an area like this. And then what you do with the color on the first one, you will change it to some white or something like that. And then the color on the second one, you change it to be blue, deeper blue, right? And then you come off it. And then we go into the dots. The dots, the first one, which is the color, you would change that one into red. Yeah. And then you select the biggest dot. And then the second one, you change that one into green. Or some kind of green like that. The biggest, you select the thickest, and then you OK it. So when you OK it, it will give you something like this. All right. So this is all we'll be looking for. Do you understand? This one is not like a major confluence, but it helps. You know what I mean? So one other thing that I forgot to tell you is that when you open this again, you have to go into your code, and on row 21, where's 21? I think this is not the right code. On row 21, you would change something into 3. I think this is not the right one. This is the amended code that someone did for me. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this thing again and then change it as quickly as we can. So we are starting the process all over again. So you go to wave trend with crosses, lazy bear. When you get that one, you go straight to the code. And then when you go to the code, you go to this 3 dots, make a script copy, and then WTC, TC, and then dash your initials, MH, but I'll put this sample there so that I know that this is for this training sample, and then save it. So when you save it, minimize it, and then close it all together. Go back into indicators, go to my script. You see sitting there, WTC, the sample, the one I just created is this one. So when I go into that one, I'm going to make some changes. Let me move it up first. So let me move it up. Then let me move it up again. Yes, so it's here now. What I'm just going to do is when I get into the WTC, I'll go back into the script again. And then on row 21, you see this number 4. There's a number 4 in here. I'll change it to 3, right? When I change it to 3, I go and then I save it, right? Once I've saved it, I will just minimize it. And then I come into the settings. When I come into the settings, I'll take, I think, this first plot, the second plot, third plot, fourth plot, fifth plot. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 6th one I wanted, right? And then the 7th one, I believe I want that one as well. 8th, you can leave the 8th in there for now. And then the 9th, I'm not sure. And then you let this one. So you have the 6th, 7th, 8th. 9th is off, 10th is on. And then the bar color, you take them off. I thought this, but I'm just going over it quickly. So now what happens is the 6th, you see, is a line. First, change the color to this white. move it all the way 100%. Possibly, okay, 100%. Let the thickness be on this one. Off that, come to the next one, move it all the way, make it this blue, move it all the way 100%. Off the lines here, the first one, you change it to area. The second one, you change it to area. All right, now that you've changed it to area, it should look like this. Now the dots. The first one, we want the thickest dot, or you can choose either this or that. So, and then it should be the brightest. Come off it. This one should be green. You choose either this dot or that, and it should be the brightest. All right. Then you save as default and okay it. Now we're good. All right. Now we are good. So this is what I want you to create. So you're creating TDI, you're creating WT cross. We are getting the moving averages, which is the 5, 10, and the 20. And then we are set for the strategy. Now, this is how your screen would look generally when for the strategy. Do you understand? I'm not going to teach anything further. I'm just going to get you guys to, I'll make sure I upload this video today, right after when we finish. So you can go through and then possibly set up your page. And then tomorrow, we will show how the strategy works. Because I don't want to bombard you with a lot of things. There's a lot of things that I've done now. So I'm going to close the training today. You should be able to set this thing up as it looks now. Once you set this thing up this way, good, tomorrow, I'll show you how the strategy works. And you see how beautiful it works, okay? So that is that. So I'm going to close this. I'm going to stop the recording, and then we will open the ground for questions. And then